and I'm so happy to be here with all of you to talk to you about local climate action plans and ambitious climate action. I first started down this line of inquiry because I was impressed with the US local governments and organizations that joined the We Are Still In pledge during the years when the US was being pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement. The United States' continuing commitment to greenhouse gas reductions targets that we had in Paris was supported by 294 cities and counties that stood in the gap, representing the US at international climate negotiations. It didn't take me long to realize, though, that there's another gap, the one between those ambitious commitments and progress toward achievement. Looking into various city climate action plans, I learned about the robust public outreach process made during plan development, but then there was very minimal apparent progress years down the line. Because I believe that we have become content with operating under the assumption that all that good effort was being carried forward, I wanted to look into this situation further. Good intentions do not always result in progress. In their annual City Energy Scorecard for 2020, the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy, or ACEEE, found that of the 100 large US cities they evaluated, 37 had no climate goals. And of those that did, only 34 were tracking their progress. Of those with data, only 20 were on track for their goal. This analysis signals several problems. More cities need to come on board with climate action planning. Those who have set a commitment and written a plan need to monitor and track their progress toward their goals that have been established, and the need to strengthen plan implementation in the US. But you might think, well, it's not a big deal because we rejoined the Paris Agreement this year. Regardless of the efforts at the federal level, and we know that that can change with each election, cities will continue to be key stakeholders in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Cities are home to over 50% of the global population. They produce over 2/3 of, or they consume over 2/3 of global energy, and they produce over 70% of global emissions. Cities are key stakeholders in the climate crisis. But they are often set up to fail. It is easy to announce a climate target, but to achieve progress, you have to allocate adequate resources. In the literature, a lack of capacity and budget are the main reasons why monitoring, evaluation, and reporting on local climate action plans is just not done. These plans are often just not a priority. What it comes down to is accountability. The system produces the results it was designed to produce, and an important solution to getting the results we need is an engaged community. Engaged communities can help a city prioritize climate action plan implementation through accountability. In California, a small nonprofit called the Climate Action Campaign has made it their mission to advocate for the development and implementation of local climate action plans. In the last 6 years, Climate Action Campaign has advocated for the development of climate action plans in 8 cities and at the San Diego Unified School District. They produce an annual scorecard on progress towards those planned goals and continue to advocate for the creation of gold standard climate action plans at the 10 other cities in San Diego County and at the county level too. How do we get that energy going nationwide? In order to scale up the impact nationally, we need to engage a network that has national coverage. We know former Vice President Al Gore is famous for his Inconvenient Truth documentary, but he also founded the Climate Reality Project, a climate organization run on the power of community advocacy, which centers climate and environmental justice. On the Climate Reality Project's website, this is this quote from Gore. "Believe in the power of your own voice. The more noise you make, the more accountability you demand from your leaders, the more our world will change for the better." And I sincerely believe that that is true for many topics. They have trained over 30,000 people globally to join their Climate Leadership Corps to spread education about the climate crisis and advocacy for policy and solutions. They already have a nationwide campaign focused on climate policy at the federal level, and another campaign focused on city and college pledges to 100% renewable electricity. With over 130 active chapters in cities and on college campuses across the nation, the Climate Reality Project has one of the largest climate-focused networks in the country. My proposal is to expand the Climate Realities existing campaign called Our Climate Moment to go beyond just focusing on federal level to including local implementation of climate action plans. By building the momentum at the local level, we foster a resilient movement that can withstand federal level fluctuations in priority and help the entire country achieve our Paris Agreement targets. So many people want to do something about the climate crisis, but they don't know where to start. So here is a good place to start. Consider taking a free climate leadership core training event. I was just trained in April of this year. Join a local chapter or start one if it doesn't exist in your area. Look up your city's climate action plan. Do they even have one? And figure out if they're tracking and reporting toward their goals. Find out where you can plug in, whether that's advocating at city council meetings, working on a specific recommendation in the plan, signing petitions, etc. Your advocacy could be the impetus needed to encourage the US to implement their climate action plans. And your participation can help bridge the gap between planning and action. If you'd like to talk to me more about local climate action, please reach out. I love this topic and it's something very dear to my heart. Thank you.